In this video, we are going to cover how we can use Codex for the UI automation. So as you can see, I do have a very simple UI available over here, and I'm just going to use Codex to help me in identifying the issues in this particular UI, to test this particular UI thoroughly and create the test cases for this UI. And the opportunity is going to be endless because once you know how you can interact your developed UI, then you can just pass n number of instructions to the codex and codex is going to handle it automatically. So as of now, this particular UI is running on my system. So let's try to open this project in codex. So first of all, we have to go to this codex UI and we can go to new chat. I'm just going to click on the new chat. So just to work on this particular UI, the recommended path would be to have it under a project. As you can see on my Visual Studio, this particular project is running under Codex browser demos. I'm just going to copy paste this particular path so that I can give this response to Codex. So here I'm just going to say work in a project and I'm just going to say add new project. And here I can say like use an existing folder. So this would be my code folder. I'm just going to give this particular path to it. And now it has this Codex browser demo folder open. And from the model perspective, I'm just using a 5.5 model with the medium reasoning, and the speed, I'm just keeping it standard instead of a fast. And now in this chat, we can give our instruction. Now to trigger it, I'm going to pass very generic statement to Codex so that like it can go and figure out what exactly it has to do with the UI. So I'm just going to say, could you please run the app and validate the UI is working as expected? Also prepare a UI workflow to onboard any new user and prepare a test cases to run. Now you can do a number of things over here. Instead of keeping it very generic, you can pass specific instructions, what exactly it needs to do. Or you can also ask Codex to identify the flow on its own, like what we are doing here. Now, when the Codex is going to run this particular application, then it's going to use something called in-app browser. It comes by default with the Codex and we don't have to pass any specific instruction as such to invoke it. This particular browser is going to be helpful in our local development where we don't require any kind of sign up. So it can help us to open like any kind of UI which we are developing currently. Codex can open it in the chat thread only. Now this is going to be helpful because we don't have to navigate to any other screen just to look into the UI. Now you can see like a specific instruction over here. Use it when you are building or debugging a web app and want to preview pages and attach visual comments. Now this comments is something which is going to be available in in-app browser via annotations. So if you're not liking a specific component on the UI, then you can annotate it and then Codex can, take it up and improve it based on the input what you are giving. But when we are going to do the UI automation, only the rendering of the web page and the annotation is not going to help us. We need like something interactive so that like Codex can go and perform certain kind of actions, like whether all the buttons are working on the web page or not, or whether we can provide like any kind of input in the specific fields. So for that, we need Codex to be interactive, and that kind of capability comes from the browser use. So browser use comes in the two forms in the Codex. We can install a plugin, and this also comes as a skill. So wherever the Codex feels it has to do certain kind of actions, then it can automatically invoke this particular skill and use it. And this is going to be very crucial for the UI automation. We just have to make sure these two things are enabled. So in a browser is going to be enabled by default. And this browser use is something also we can invoke it. You can see in this particular statement over here, use the browser to open. So to use the browser use, we have to install and enable the browser plugin. And then we can specifically invoke it with the @browser tag, or we can just pass the instructions like this to invoke the browser. As I say, like this is the plugin route, but there is also a skills come into picture. Let me just show it to you. So if I go over here and search for browser, then you can see we do have this browser plugin, but we do have the skill also. So in this case, you can specifically invoke the browser and you can say validate the UI is working as expected using browser, or you can also just leave it as it is. And because it has to do certain kind of interaction, so it's automatically going to use the browser skill. So that part is going to be automated. And if you want to search for the browser plugin, then you can go to the plugin section. Once you add it, you can also go to the manage and see whether the browse has been enabled or not. Like in this case, you can see the browser has been enabled in my case. Now I'm just going to go into the chat and I'm just going to submit it. So first I'm asking it to run the app. So it's saying like I will get the app running and it's going to inspect the existing UI flow and then turn it into an onboarding workflow plus practical test cases. Now it's saying like I found a small React app with the dependencies already installed because it's trying to run a command. So I'm just going to go ahead and approve it. It's saying like the dev service is up and running and responding to this particular URL. So I'm just going to go ahead and allow it and it's trying to open it in the in-app browser. So here now you can see the browser is coming, right? And if I just click on this, then this is the in-app browser screen, whatever you're seeing as of now. You see this black one, this is the codex pointer. And it's saying the desktop page loaded successfully. And now actually it's trying to inspect the desktop UI. It has trying to perform certain actions. So it has put an email over here. And now actually it is trying to save it. All this codex is doing automatically. I'm not controlling this workflow. Now it is just trying to make sure this particular screen is going to be responsive, whether on desktop or mobile. You can see like here it has specifically mentioned use the browser and whatever action you are seeing on the screen, it is able to do it because it's using the browser. This is not the in-app browser. This is the browser use and using this one only it is able to interact with this particular UI. Now it has just validated everything and it is just trying to create a UI workflow and test cases.md. As we have asked Codex to create a test cases as well, it's storing the screenshots as well, like which is very important in any kind of UI testing. Now you can see like it has done with the validations and the workflow and it has just provided me all the required details. So I do have this UI workflow and test cases.md. I just clicked on this and this is going to open over here. You can see like it has just clearly stated what was in the scope. And then this is a new user onboarding workflow, which it has created it. So it's saying you can open the app, confirm the account setting, confirm the header shows this account setting. You can provide your full name, email, and then you can select the save changes. After that, whatever actually it has tried to validate it, there is a whole validation summary around it. And then there are certain manual test cases which it has prepared. Whatever it has tried upon, for each and everything, it has just created the test cases. So here you can see all this got passed. In certain cases, like it has put some comments as well, which we have to look into. And there are two specific cases for the mobile layout and the production build. It has got failed and it has given the recommended next fixes also. And on top of that, we have got the screenshot also, whatever actually it has tried upon. So it's an end-to-end documentation which it has prepared. Now, if you want, you can also work on the fixes. You can also just delegate it to Codex and Codex can do it. And for that, because you are already in a project, so you don't have to do much. We know like it has created this UI workflow and test cases.md. So what I can do is I can just refer this file and for that I just have to put at the rate over here and here we do have the files and other sections. So I just have to put the file name correctly. So I'm just going to say UI workflow and test cases.md. I can just put it over here. So I can just say like refer the recommended next fixes and work on it and test it. I can just assign the same to Codex and then Codex is trying to apply the recommended fix from the checklist and then it's going to rerun the same browser validation and will check each and everything from scratch. You can see like it is again going ahead and typing the name in the full name, just trying to validate things end to end once more. So you can see like it was quite easy to just pass on the issues to the Codex. What is it has identified earlier. It has just worked on it and then again just going ahead and validating it. But there is one more additional functionality which comes in the in-app browser, which is related to annotations. So if you see this browser here at the top, you will see this annotate options. So if I click on this annotate, then I can go to any particular component in this particular UI and I can just put like any kind of comment over here. So I can just say, please change the font of this. And then when I submit it, it's automatically going to go to Codex, and then Codex can try to work on your annotations. This is also very helpful functionality which is going to come in the in-app browser. If you feel like, okay, certain things are not working as expected, then you can just annotate it, and then you can just pass that specific component information to Codex rather than just passing a vague comment for Codex to work on. So that's how actually you can do a lot of things on the UI, what you are building using Codex, its in-app browser and the browser skill. That's all what we have in this video. Thank you for watching.